Guys, what is up? It is Chris Colgan here, and we are back with the third episode of Real Nova Network, and I got some pretty cool stuff I'm going to be talking about today. Here's a quick rundown. Arlington just became the fittest city in America for the 8th year in a row. We've also got spotted lanternflies literally taking over Northern Virginia and the DMV, and they're all over the place right now, and they have hit full-grown stage, and yeah, they're kind of like everywhere, like I said. And then there's some crazy traffic news that got us national attention, but not in a great way. And don't worry though, there's actually going to be some good that's going to come out of it. And the best part, 3 suburbs in Northern Virginia just crushed it on America's wealthiest communities, and the income numbers are wild. So let's jump into this week's episode. All right, so this one is really cool. Arlington just grabbed the title of America's fittest city again for the 8th year in a row. They even beat out DC, which came in second, believe it or not. And when I say Arlington crushed it, I mean they seriously crushed it. Now, a lot of people look at me and the tip-top shape that I am in, and they say, you have to live in Arlington, right? But I don't. But guess what? You know what, Arlington, when you walk around there is some good looking people. If you're watching from Arlington, you probably are good looking. But listen to this, the 2025 Fitness Index says 67% of people living in Arlington are excellent or very good health. That's the highest number of all the cities in the United States. They also have the most people getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night, 76%, and only 3.3% of people in Arlington smoke. That's like hardly anyone smokes in Arlington, which is crazy because they're actually a really young crowd in Arlington, right? Arlington's overall fitness score was 85.7. The average across 100 cities was only 50.8. So Arlington is in like a league of its own for sure when it comes to being healthy and fit. The report even gave Arlington a shout out for having 9 tennis or pickleball courts for every 20,000 people. That's the 6th highest in the country. And if you think that is exciting, just wait till you hear some of the income stats from 3 suburbs we're going to talk about later. The numbers are seriously next level. But first, let's stick with Arlington and how they're totally leading the pack when it comes to health and fitness. Now, not everything was perfect, unlike me, right? One not so great number was 50% of people in Arlington said that they had poor mental health at some point in the past month. That's worse than the average. Yeah, and that can be a little worrying. If someone has had some mental health problems, I kind of understand that, right? Like Northern Virginia, DMV is a high stress, we all work a lot area, right? And that can definitely be mentally challenging. Now, DC came in second place with a fitness score of 78.3. More people there walk, bike, or take the bus compared to Arlington, but DC doesn't do so well when it comes to air quality. Only 51% of days are considered good days for air. In Arlington, they're actually 82%, and DC also has 10% of the population smokes compared to only 3% in Arlington, which is crazy. I can't even believe that's that much of a difference. If you're thinking about buying a home, the kind of news that is a big deal, being the fittest city in the country definitely helps make Arlington more attractive. Here's what I think. Arlington isn't winning just because they have parks and bike trails. Even those are great. They're winning because the whole community really values health and fitness, and the air quality number definitely is a game changer. Sure, the mental health numbers need a little more attention, but honestly, that might just be part of living in a super pricey area, right? And like I said, it can be very high stressful having a lot of these government jobs or Amazon jobs over in Arlington. Still being number 1 for 8 years in a row, that is a huge accomplishment. Now, before I jump into our second story, if you're finding this kind of info helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. In real estate, the people who stay informed usually get the best deals. Trust me, I know, I've been doing this for a long time. That's what this channel is all about. Whether it's fitness rankings, traffic updates, or income stats, I break down how it all ties into real estate and what your home is worth and how to find the best deals here in the DMV. Okay, so you've been seeing some weird bugs around lately and wondering what they are. I've got the answer. Spotted lanternflies have officially reached their adult stage, and right now they are all over Northern Virginia. Like literally, I see them on every tree. People first started spotting them in the spring when they were still in their early stages. Back then, they looked like little black and white bugs that were so sweet and innocent. Then they molted into red ones. Now, into August and July, most of them have turned into full-grown adults. I mean, they went from 0 to 100, literally. The Virginia Cooperative Extension says their adult bugs will start laying eggs in September, and that continues through November, and the winter cold usually takes out the remaining adults. But this year's outbreak is going to be worse than before. A field supervisor with the Virginia Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services said that the invasion spreads. We're seeing the population grow really fast. I mean, literally, these bad boys are everywhere. A local extension agent also told the Augusta Free Press that we can expect heavy infestation for the next 3 to 5 years. After that, the numbers could go down, but the bugs probably won't disappear completely. Speaking of disappearing, there's something else that definitely isn't going away: our traffic problems. Believe it or not, we just passed Los Angeles in a category nobody wants to win in. Trust me on this one. I'll tell you how bad it's gotten just in a minute, but don't worry, there's actually some silver lining in all of this. Now let's get back to my favorite subject, which is bugs. Adult spotted lanternflies are about 1 inch long and a ½ inch wide. Their wings are brown with black spots and speckled band on the back. Wow, that's a lot to say. The bottom wings are bright red with black spots and white and black stripes at the end. The good news is that they don't harm people or pets, but they can seriously damage crops and trees. They feed on woody plants, especially ones called the tree of heaven, which is actually an invasive species they really like. And yeah, this is coming up in real estate too. Buyers who care about gardening and landscaping are asking me about it all the time. You can manage these bugs with insecticides. Once they start laying eggs, you can also scrape off egg masses. They look like brown or gray patches of mud stuck to surfaces. Man, that actually sounds really gross. But here's the thing, bugs are just part of life when you live in a green area like Northern Virginia. If you're buying a place with a lot of trees, it's smart to plan for pest control and landscaping budget. And if you're already thinking about getting rid of the tree of heaven, now that's a great time, since the lanternflies love to hang out there. It's definitely something that you have to deal with for a while, but it's not the end of the world. With the right plan, you can stay on top of it. A lot of times when you buy a house here in Northern Virginia, there's a little box I always check that the buyer will pay for a termite and insect inspection. They're $50, and then the way contract reads is it says the seller will take care of any damage to the property. So definitely make sure you got a good agent like myself to help you with that. Now here's some traffic news that's going to hit close to home. Washington, D.C. just passed Los Angeles as the worst city in the United States for traffic. That's straight from the latest ranking according to Consumer Affairs. Right now, drivers in the DC area spend more time stuck in traffic than anywhere else in the United States. The average daily commute is 34 minutes. That's based on traffic data from all 50 biggest metros across the country. And here's the part that stings. The average time we spend on weekday traffic jams, morning and evening hours, is 6 hours and 35 minutes. Only Los Angeles beat that. If you add up all of that, that's 71 days a year of sitting in traffic. The other cities rounding out the top 5 for worst traffic are going to be Miami, San Francisco, and Atlanta. On the flip side, the cities with the least traffic are Rochester, Salt Lake City, and Cleveland. Now, technically, LA still has the longest total congestion, almost 8 hours a day, but its average commute time is just a little over 30 minutes. That means that our commute times are actually a lot worse. Consumer Affairs pointed out something big. The cities that with the worst traffic are also the ones with the highest economic output. Another thing driving is the federal government's push for workers to return to the office. After years of remote work, more people are back on the roads. Even though more folks are using public transit now that they were during the pandemic, we're still way behind where things were in 2019. And one local commuter told WTOP he wasn't surprised by the report. He said traffic around DC stinks, and he's even adjusted his work hours just to avoid it. Like, I'm hearing a lot of clients tell me that as well. From a real estate angle, this comes up all the time. Buyers are constantly asking about commute times. It's one of the first things we talk about when choosing where to live. Usually I'll jump in on a Zoom with people and they'll say, hey, I'm going to be working in Arlington and I want to look in Front Royal, and I usually have to break the news to them. Man, that is going to be a long ride and a lot of traffic. So yeah, DC now has the worst traffic in the country. That sounds awful, but the flip side is it means DC is still a booming area. Consumer Affairs said it itself, the worst traffic found in cities with the strongest economies. Think about it. People aren't just sitting in traffic for fun, right? They're heading into serious jobs, federal agencies, major tech companies, high paying contract. This is where decisions get made and big things happen. Sure, traffic's rough, but people want to be here. And let's not forget, we've got the metro, we've got the BRE. If you plan well and pick the right place to live, there are ways to get around without going absolutely insane sitting in Northern Virginia traffic. In the end, bad traffic is just a side effect of a strong economy, and I'll take that any day over a place like Rochester where there's no traffic, because that means there's not much going on. All right, last but not least, one that's honestly wild. It totally lines up what I see every day out in the field. A brand new report from Go Banking Rates just dropped, and it shows Northern Virginia is home to some of the richest suburbs in all of the United States. 5 suburbs from the DMV made the list of the top 50th wealthiest communities in America, and 3 of them are right here in Northern Virginia. Let me walk you through these numbers because they're kind of insane. McLean came in highest in our area, ranked number 12 nationwide with a median household income of $365. And you have Wolf Trap at number 20 with an average of $316,000. And then Vienna made the list too, coming at number 45 at $273,768. On the Maryland side, Potomac ranked number 27 with a median income of $304,000 and Bethesda number 38 with $290,000. The report looked at suburbs with at least 5,000 households that aren't considered principal cities but just part of metro areas, so they focused on true suburbs, not just mega city centers. Now let's talk about homes. In McLean, one of the most expensive homes for sale right now is $22.5 million. If you want to buy it, definitely hit me up. 10 bedrooms, 12 and a half bathrooms, an elevator, a wine cellar, and a spa, private salon, French style garden, and of course, a lap pool. In Wolf Trap, there's a $3.9 million home that includes a guest house like its own apartment. And in Vienna, there's a 7-bedroom house for $3.4 million with 3-car garage and EV chargers, of course. But what brings this kind of wealth here? For one, the DC location is a big draw for government and defense contractors. Northern Virginia is also a hot spot for tech. 70% of the world's internet flows through this region, and top-ranked schools, great culture, activities, and reasonable commutes, and we've got the recipe for serious demand. From a real estate perspective, these income levels absolutely shape the market, right? Like bidding wars are common, cash offers show up all the time is what I'm seeing, and the best homes move fast. High demand plus limited inventory keep prices climbing. But these aren't just rich neighborhoods by chance. The wealth here comes from smart location choices, strong job markets, and a quality of life that keeps people here long term. When you've got steady high income jobs and not a ton of homes available, prices stay strong. If you're a buyer, that means to act fast when the right place pops up. If you're a seller, it's a reminder that our market stays strong even when the national economy can get shaky. And honestly, that kind of regional wealth helps boost opportunity all across Northern Virginia, not just in those top zip codes. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Pretty cool stuff, right? And what do you think? Are you surprised that Arlington beat DC as the fittest city in the United States? Got lanternflies showing up at your place too? Think the traffic rankings are fair or totally off? Drop a comment. I want to know what you guys think. And hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling any of these high income suburbs, or just curious how it impacts home values anywhere that you live, shoot me an email, info@colganteam.com. Whether you're eyeing a $30 million mansion in McLean or figuring out a $365,000 household income, it really means for the market, I'm here to help. And if you want more of this kind of Northern Virginia breakdown, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'll see you at the top or from the top.